So guys, there are spoilers for this film and this review, so if you don't want to get caught in the storm, go out, watch the film, then come back. You have been warned.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, welcome back to episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm Russell HD, Ron HD, and this week we watched Moana 2. Of course, the sequel to the 2016 Disney animation film, Moana. Now, I will say this film was not great, and honestly, it kind of felt like a direct-to-DVD sequel, but a theatrical release. It kind of felt unnecessary, rushed, and it was. And honestly, I don't know. It was mediocre. It wasn't great. But before I go on a whole tangent of why I thought this one was alright, I guess, I'll tell you why and more back at the house.
You will be destroyed, and your wayfinder too.
Now I kind of miss the lava monster. Ow! Ow! Do I hear people?
Those aren't people. Cockham. You guys, we got this. Bring it on, Coco. Nuts.
Aloha, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Jonathan HD, and I'm just hanging out with Manaya Kalani. We just watched Moana 2, starring Auliʻi, Cravalho, I believe I'm saying that correctly, sorry if I butchered that, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, of course, playing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with hair. Took a lot of range, to depict that. But with that being said, I will say, before I jump into this film, I want to have a little footnotes. I liked the original Moana. I thought it was good. I liked it as a kid. But I feel like, personally, this film, one, didn't really feel all that necessary, and two, I don't really know. It just didn't really have the same spirit as the original film. And I'll get to why that is in a second. Which, actually, I'll get into it right now. This film was not supposed to be a movie. I'll just say that flat out right now. It had been a TV show they'd been working on for Disney Plus for 4 years. And since Wish failed spectacularly, which was, mind you, it was Disney's 100-year celebration movie, and it was awful, and nobody went to see it. So Disney was like, hey, what are those guys working on down there? Oh, a Moana TV show? No, that's nonsense. Make them work on a movie, right? Shove it and jam it into a movie and we'll make profit. And I've kind of helped them in doing that. Unfortunately, I've helped the corporate Satan make more money. So, yeah, I feel a little bad about that. But, yeah, I like the original Moana, although this film definitely was not as good. It was a definition of a cash grab, and it worked, because it made like 300-some million in the box office or something. It's whatever, I guess. So, I think, personally, that this film, just, like, it didn't really do a lot for me. The music wasn't great. It wasn't very catchy. It wasn't very, like, it didn't really hook you, I think that's the case for a lot of Disney musicals post-Encanto. I just really think that they're not good anymore. And I feel like Disney's kind of losing their edge as of late, which is unfortunate, or fortunate, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, Disney used to be, like, known for their great classic, like, musicals. The Renaissance, the Disney Renaissance is fucking talked about all the time for good reason. It was a great time to be a fan of Disney. But I feel like ever since then, like, it's been hard to... I mean, they've made good musicals afterwards. Moana 1 was good, and Kanto was good. Coco, was that? I think that was a musical, yeah. I can't remember. It was good, though. It was alright. But I just feel like... I'm not going to try to say they didn't hit the same, because it's obviously different audiences, different era. But I really think, honestly, that this film just didn't try. You know what I mean? Like, I think the people who made this movie obviously didn't even want to make it, because they were making a TV show for 4 years. Right? Yeah. Was there passion in this movie? It's hard to say. They might have had passion for the story, but unfortunately, since this was originally maybe supposed to be like a 6-hour TV show or something, like, you had to condense that into 90 minutes. So there may have been some things that could have made the story better that they had to cut out, right? Since they had to, like, kind of hastily turn it into a movie. And I think you can tell that this film was retooled because it doesn't look as good as a film that came out nearly fucking 10 years ago, right? Like, I feel like that shouldn't be a thing, right? Like, a film that came out in 2016, like, visually should not look better than a film that came out in 2024. I just feel like that shouldn't be the case. But it is here, and while the film does not look bad by any means, it just doesn't pop out like the original one did, you know? And, again, the film is just kind of mediocre. It's not great. And, as I said, I really think that it's because it's just, as I said, it was supposed to be a show, turned it into a movie for profit. They made profit, which I guess their plan worked. We saw it, so we supported that, I guess. So good job on y'all. Your plan worked. But, I'm just saying that I just kind of wish Disney tried a little bit harder nowadays. Like, I really think they just kind of phone it in all the time, and they just don't care as much as they used to. Or maybe they were just better at hiding it 30 years ago. I don't know. But, I just really think Disney now think that they don't even really need to try to make money anymore. They can just slap their name on anything and people will buy it because it's a Disney product, right? And are they right? Probably. I mean, unless it's a new IP. Nobody watches new IPs anymore. They just watch sequels and remakes, which has been going on for like 15 years, so I guess we've just gotten used to it at this point. But it's just like, it's unfortunate, you know? And it's, again, I'm sorry if I'm going a little off topic here, but, like, the film itself would look better in 2D. Like, I remember I saw, like a behind-the-scenes, like, pencil test for Moana 1, and it just, like, the 2D looked better. I'm sorry, like, you can't be traditional animation for me. 2D animation will always be superior. Always. At least to me. And talking about the original film, the original makers of the original film, I forgot their names, but they are Disney legends. They created so many classic Disney films, and they worked on Moana, and that's probably why the film was so good. It's because, well, no, it is why the film was so good, because they worked on it. And guess what? They didn't work on this one. Big surprise. But, like, I did hear somebody say that this film was basically, as I said in the intro, a direct-to-DVD sequel making it to theaters. Like, they added all these new wacky side characters, except for the coconut, the Kakamora. He's the best character. Now, this is like the only positive thing I'm going to say of the movie. I like the Kakamora guy because he was funny, because he didn't do anything, and I liked his vibe. I liked how he was just chilling. He was just chilling the whole time. You know, he was fighting. You know, he fought sometimes. Even though he was a small boy, he was fierce. He was fierce. You know, he was badass. I liked him. But also because he was chill. He was just kind of in the background of a lot of scenes most of the time. He had a little blow dart. I liked him. He was tiny. Like, you had to, like, it was like, where's Waldo? Whenever you were looking for him in the background of a shot. Yeah, he was, like, so small, you had to look around. Also, the Kakamora being good guys was interesting, because they were kind of like joke characters in the first one. Like, legitimately, the Kakamora weren't even really, like, taken that seriously in the original Moana. I mean, like, they were bad guys. I think they were, like, pirates type, weren't they? I feel like they were pirates. Like, scavengers type thing. I mean, hell, maybe even when this was originally supposed to be a TV show for 4 years, maybe the Kakamora had a fucking episode where Moana got captured, they were going to escape or something like that. Like, the Kakamora could have been fleshed out for a full, like, 20 to 30 minutes, but when you condense a long miniseries into a 90-minute time frame, you gotta cut shit out. And it's like, I want to learn more about the Funky Coconut Men. Why is that so difficult? Disney, make the Kakamora spin-off movie. Kakamora, make it. If you're listening, make the Kakamora spin-off movie. They're chill. I like them. I like their vibe. I like the Kakamora's vibe. But, legit, that's the only thing I liked were the Funky Coconut Men. I liked them. But I think that overall this film just felt like... It just felt like they were doing bare minimum, unfortunately. You know, even though I did think, like, I did kind of like the conclusion, you know, of them, like, calling all the other islands and uniting the tribes and stuff like that, and uniting all the clans. I think that's cool, right? That's a cool little ending, you know, like, Moana basically commands the sea now. That's interesting. But, like, maybe that moment would have been better. Maybe that moment would have been more fleshed out. Maybe the whole story of this would have been fleshed out as a TV show, since they've been working on it for 4 years. That's not just something you shit out. You've been working on that shit for nearly half a decade. And bam, just like that, now it's a movie. I mean, they made their money. That Disney is going to take a lot of, but who cares, I guess. For some reason, this film had a weird MCU end credit scene at the end where they showed the bad guy that they never showed in the movie. They talked about him and how he was evil, big bad guy. They never fought him. They never did anything. He just had a few tornadoes that they stopped. And then they pulled an island out of the water. And boom! All is well. But there's this bat lady, and she helped Maui and Moana and the crew to get to this point and do that. She helped them. But I guess she's like one of his lackeys, I guess. And he's mad because they did it, and he's like, I will do it. He's like fucking Thanos he's like, I'll do it myself. But it was not nearly as epic at all. And he's not Josh Brolin. Whoever was voicing him, he wasn't Josh Brolin. But then fucking Tamatoa, played by Jermaine Clements from the first film, came back as like a little gag. And it's like, wow. I mean, I know there's a certain... I know some people are going to be happy about our silly little coconut crab making a little cameo. But overall, I think this film probably will get a sequel because of how fucking successful it was. All I can say is make it better, I guess. Put more effort. Maybe not effort is the right word, but just like try harder. You know what I mean? Don't turn a TV show into a movie this time. Maybe actually like think it over, because it's gonna definitely get a sequel because of how successful it was. Whenever that is, I don't know, but it probably will at some point. But with that being said, would I recommend it? Not really. I don't even really think you should watch this film if you're a fan of the first one. I genuinely think that you should just stick to the first one. Because again, it's just not as good. The music isn't as good. The vibe isn't as good. Just the whole feeling of the film, just the film itself is not as good, so what's the point? right? It's not even really that enjoyable. Not even ironically. It's just kind of whatever. Like, why am I watching this, right? And I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. And with that being said, even though my Kakamora Coconut Boy, he was in this film, he was good. He adds a point to this film. We're going to give it a 5 out of 10. And yeah, I think I've said my piece. So guys, hope you like this video. Share with friends, subscribe, turn notifications on. Comment down below if you liked it. But you guys know this. I really said that. What I really meant to say. So if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, dislike, tell you hate me in the comments. And I'm Naruto HD. Off to unite the islands.
Now, Dwayne Johnson is in this film, of course. And you know, there's something special about Dwayne Johnson roles. And that's because he plays Dwayne Johnson in this film, but with hair and tattoos. He already has tattoos, but more tattoos than he usually has. And they talk, and they don't talk. They move, though. I don't know where I'm going with this. Dwayne Johnson is Dwayne Johnson with hair in this film, with a hook and a moving tattoo. It's like you got the New Game Plus version of Dwayne Johnson. You know, can you smell what Maui is cooking?
Fuck, what was I gonna talk about? Aloha! Shit, what was it again?
Motherfucker.